Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm just going to be talking a little bit about the spring cleaner and the drop table rework that came along with the mining and smithing update. So anyway, let's get on with the video. So with the mining and smithing rework, the spring cleaner was also changed. So as you can see, there's a whole salvage category. And I do have the spring cleaner 3000, and that is the minimum level you will want for the disassembly mode. So I can do the high alk mode and disassembly mode. And anyway, with the salvage, they have all these new salvages now. So for rune, as you can see, the alk value is 8,000 to 40,000. So the huge ones are 40,000, and then these ones right here are 32,000, and then it goes down to 24,000, 16,000, and 8,000. So it's pretty much just like a multiplier, so 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and 5 times of the minimum or base value. And then for adamant, you got 10k, and then this would be 8k, so you could high alk that if you want that or not. I'm going to leave it out. And I'll turn on my disassembly mode, and we're going to want to disassemble all of these, all of the mithril, because they don't alk for very much. And steel doesn't alk for much. Iron salvage doesn't alk for much. And bronze as well. So you actually don't use a spring when you are using the disassemble, so that is pretty nice. It also doesn't upgrade your spring cleaner, but that's fine. So you only use your charges from the high alk mode. So I would advise just putting them all on rune and maybe on this adamant one as well. And now for the item slot, you can see there's a bunch of items that you can select, dismantle, or research. So pretty much research mode will get you crafting XP, and for the bows it will give you fletching XP, and it will go into your bonus XP. And then you can switch it to dismantle mode, which would give you the components of whatever you are dismantling. So for this battle staff, you'll get the staff, the orb, and then the runes that you would need to make it. So that is pretty much it for this section. You can use the research mode, which will turn the item into bonus XP for a certain skill, or you can dismantle it into its raw material or previous components. So now a little bit about the drop table update that came along with this mining and smithing rework. So they changed all the rune armor or rune gear. Those drops, they're now going to be rune salvage, and same with the adamant gear, the adamant salvage, and so on and so forth. So pretty much the values have stayed around the same. I mean, a few are a little different, like the rune full helm, for example. You do get a little bit more GP for that drop now. But they are pretty much around the same, so the drop tables won't be affected too much by that. And the prices of the salvages, they're bounded by the alk price. So I did try out a few Slayer tasks just to see how the drop tables really work now, the changes, see if you could actually see an impact. And so I started with some Abyssal Demons, and the GP per hour was fairly the same. The rune items, the rune drops, they were being alked by my spring cleaner. So that was pretty much the same. The only thing that was a little different was the ores that you would normally get before the update. So like the runite ore that I would get before the update, it would have been worth 10k, and now you're getting a rune stone spirit, which is only worth maybe 1k right now. So the prices there have dropped a lot, which will lower the GP per hour a little bit, at least for Abyssal Demons. And you can pretty much look at that for any kind of monster or any boss. If they drop any ores or coal, adamant ore, runite ore, if that was kind of a big drop, like even okay, like I know for Queen Black Dragon, the runite ore was the best drop. Now if you get that runite ore drop, you'll get the rune stone spirits instead. So that drop is pretty much worthless. and you don't want it. So any kind of monster or any creature or boss that had a good Runite ore drop, the GP per hour is definitely going to decrease. But if not, I do really like the Rune Salvage, or the Salvage update. You can now like disassemble them automatically and halk them automatically with the Spring Cleaner, so that is really, really nice, and it's a nice update on the Spring Cleaner. But the alch prices, they are fairly similar to what the rune items were. Some are even higher, some are lower, like the Rune Dagger, I believe, is a little lower. But Rune Longsword, Rune Full Helm, stuff like that is a little higher than before. So yeah, you do make a little bit more money off this update than before. If they drop a lot of rune items, if they drop lots of ores, then the GP would have went down. But anyway, for the Abyssal Demons, I calculated around 2.5 to 3 mil per hour was roughly what it was. So it is pretty much the same as before. It's down a little bit, but overall it is roughly the same. And it wasn't a very big sample size, so it could be a little different. So it could actually be a little different. And so I also tested out the GP per hour for the Gargoyles, and this was also fairly similar. I was getting around 2 to 3 mil per hour, so maybe it went up a little bit. They don't really have any ore drops. I mean, they did drop Mithril ore and Adamant ore, coal as well, so these drops really are worthless now. But the rune gear, like now you get the rune salvage, so that's a pretty decent drop. Like the alch price is pretty much the same. They dropped rune full helms, so those are a little more than before. But overall, the GP per hour is pretty much the same, and I would suspect that you would find that for pretty much most Slayer creatures, except for the ones that really rely on those ore drops for most of the money. And here I tested out some Eretz, and I noticed the GP per hour dropped a little bit here as well. I was getting some rune stone spirits instead of the runite ore, so there was that, and that obviously drops the GP per hour a little bit. And they also drop some adamant ores, which is now adamant stone spirits. So those are pretty much worthless right now. They drop a lot of rune items, so the salvage was high alched for a pretty good price. So overall, it didn't go down too much, just because of the runite ore. That would be the only reason why it would go down. And you will see this in most of the Slayer creatures for sure. Most of them, they have their rune salvage drops now. And they really didn't change, but a lot of them with the ores definitely did go down. And you'll see that through some of the tasks that you do. Even if you get some bars or ores, any kind of that stuff, it all went down. So yeah, definitely look out, because I think they will be changing it sometime in the future once the economy has settled down a bit and it's a little more stable. So overall, this rework hasn't really affected PVM too much. It has changed the drop tables a little bit. They tend to be a little bit worse now that the ores are a lot worth a lot less. They've been converted to these stone spirit drops, which are pretty much worthless right now. But we will see. The economy will stable out, of course. So we'll see once that happens. And Jagex has confirmed that they will be looking into this, seeing if they should change it or not. My personal opinion, I think they should change the runite ore drop into maybe a dark or light Animica ore drop. The problem with that is you don't want to choose one over the other, because you don't want the supply of one to be super high relative to the other one. So it will be interesting to see how they balance it all out and how they can maintain the same GP per hour that it was in the past. So anyway guys, that is it for this video. I really hope this video was helpful and that you were able to learn a little bit more about the changes that the mining and smithing rework has brought upon the game. But anyway guys, that is it for the video, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace.